Welcome back to Take Her Mic Away, where our opinions are often off script, but always on brand. I am Fatima.
I'm Mariel.
And Mariel, how are you doing today?
Today's been rough. If I'm being totally honest, it's been one of those, it's that point of the semester where it's like all these projects, papers, midterms, getting ready for finals, kind of going through it.
It's been a little bit rough. Like, I woke up with a swollen eye this morning. I don't know why, every year, my allergies get a little bit worse. And it really beat me up this morning. So I did have a rough one. Also, the week has been rough as well for similar reasons.
The week has just been awful.
But
so bad.
You know, this week is a little bit better than last week.
And why is that?
Because last week, Travis Scott was on campus.
I'm shocked that you're saying that it was better
because
this week than when you saw Travis.
Because my experience, Mario, was tragic.
We have two totally different experiences, though, if I'm being totally honest. Because I have my own, but I know you definitely went through it.
I didn't know you had your own.
Yeah, I had my own little experience.
Okay, wait, I'm curious. Okay, you want me to tell mine?
Tell yours first, because mine's really not too crazy.
Okay, we'll end on a better note. So, I am not like a Cactus Jack fan. Like,
Same.
I don't purchase items by Travis Scott ever. But I am a sucker for exclusivity. I said, there's Cactus Jack X USC merch that's not gonna be here after today.
Right.
I want it. I want something. And so I got up, got in line. I had to work. I got in line and I waited. Thankfully Macy was there. I got to wait in line with Macy. And first things first, the line was non-existent. It really didn't matter what the line was, right? Because once you got a wristband, you could move however you wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, people, I've been cut before.
Yeah.
Cutting is something that happens, but never like this, Maria. When I tell you, I think Macy and I got cut by an entire fraternity.
I'm not shocked though.
I think an entire fraternity came in front of us in that line.
Right.
And I was taken aback because you look to your left, you look to your right, and you do see security. You see them.
Right.
And we're like, how is this occurring when there's security? But the tea about the security is, the security was me in a jacket. Like, the security was not giving what it needed. If you put me in a what are the USC colors?
Like yellow and red.
The red and gold.
Yeah.
If you put me in that was the security. That's what the security was giving.
Yeah, security, it just looked like they didn't really care. I was like more towards the front, so like I didn't wait in line to get the clothes because I know I was not going to be able to get the clothes. Okay. But there was like a line on the side, there was like a fencing, and I was there, and like I was in the front, so I was like, oh, if he comes out and like comes this way, then I could possibly see him and just not get the clothes, which is fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Okay. But so I was waiting there, and I saw people in the front pulling out speakers, playing music. It was like I saw like everyone like getting ready, and then I could hear people's opinions like, oh, since they weren't in line for the clothes, they're like, oh, like this is like, the clothes aren't even that cool. I'm like, you're still waiting here though for Travis. Because I was the same way. I was like, I'm still gonna wait and see if I can see him.
No, as soon as I found out, because initially the only reason I was on campus in the first place, because I don't even have to be on campus on Thursdays. The only reason I was there was because they had said you could only get the clothes in store. Right. Why was it 11:30 a.m. I found out in that line you could order it online?
Yeah, I did
and
see
I said,
that. And I was
y'all
like,
just
okay.
wanted. I was like, at that moment, I said they want a crowd. They lied.
Oh yeah,
they lied. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna continue to wait in this line because one thing I wanted was sold out, and you know maybe I'll get a closer view at Travis than like if I was just on the sides, right? Because at the end of the day, somebody like Travis Scott being on campus is like rare. So I was like, I want to see. Yeah. And so, right, we were getting cut. This event was open to the public.
Yeah, I know.
Mistake number 2.
That was the mistake there.
Mistake was that this event was open to the public. They were grown men who I know for a fact did not go to USC. I saw this man with a Cactus Jack tattoo the size of his forearm.
People had shoes. There was little kids that had his cereal box. Like, just everyone was there. And like I saw a video where someone was like, oh, I'm not even a student here, but like I was like,
and when those people started cutting me, that's when I was like really fed up. Yeah. I was like, okay, I was in that line for I think 5 or 6 hours. I hope I'm not exaggerating. I think it was like 5 or 6 hours.
Couldn't be me.
I didn't get into the store because I left at 4:30. because Travis was supposed to get there at 3. He didn't get there till 4.
Yeah.
And he left at 4:30. And when he left, I left because I was like, I'm
What's the
not
point?
waiting anymore.
Right.
I was here to see you. He made sure he did his press tour with the athletes, which I'm not hating on.
Tell me why I was
they
about to
made
go to
good
the field.
content.
I was like,
I was like, they made good content. You
no,
know
the
what I
content
mean?
was good.
It was giving.
I ate it up.
I did. I was
ate
like,
up that
okay, this looks
content.
fun. Okay, I get it. But he left, and then I was like, I'm going to leave too. Actually, luckily, I came back around once the event was over, and there was still merch in the stores. So that's when I
Really?
bought my shirt.
Oh, so you got a shirt. What shirt did
So
you get?
I bought the white one.
That's the one that I wanted. That one's
Okay.
like the cutest. I think that was like the one thing that I liked the most. I also like the black hoodie, but the price for that one, I was like,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and get a shirt.
Mm-mm.
I'll go ahead and get a shirt. But that's like, I would want this shirt.
Mhm. And I did have to share one last thing about it because
Okay,
I
yeah,
just
sure.
the worst part was that not only was the security tragic, I was upset that DPS, they were there, but they were standing along the bookstore. I'm watching them see us struggle. And I'm like, why aren't you here doing something? I saw a TikTok of one of the DPS workers Googling who Travis Scott was as like a funny little bit. And I was like, sir, I'm in the back of this line fighting for my life. And you're
Yeah.
making cute little TikToks up by the bookstore. Come save me. When Travis showed up, the way the crowd moved.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they understood that whenever Travis is somewhere, a crowd is going to follow. People are going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's just going to go downhill. So I feel like a lot of the workers, like, just honestly didn't understand what was about to happen as this man was walking out of the building. Like, they
At
just
all.
didn't know
I don't think they understood the
at
capacity.
all. Like, they didn't understand, like, this man pulls people, like, attracts people like crazy. So I just don't think they
Yeah, I
understood
would have
what
been
was
like,
going on.
Astro World, Travis Scott, be prepared. Hello?
Right.
Like,
It was giving that vibe. Like, when I was standing
Mhm.
there, I was like, oh, wow.
like it's-
Crazy. I didn't even end up seeing it. I left. He was taking way too long, and I had class. I was like, okay.
No, yeah, I was watching people leave because they're like, I got a midterm. And I was like, that's
No,
so real. We're
exactly,
even here
like-
for hours.
And they chose, like, why would they choose that time? Like,
Exactly.
the worst possible time.
Exactly. On a Thursday.
On a Thursday. Do it, like, on a Friday. No one has class on Fridays.
Exactly.
Except for me. But, like, no one has class on Fridays.
But it turned out good for Travis. He got the promotion he wanted.
Oh, he did.
And-
Definitely did.
But things are not looking too good for another rapper.
No.
Acid Rap, Chance the Rapper. He and his wife are divorcing after 5 years of marriage, which shook me because I thought they were married
5
for a
years is-
lot longer.
That is the only woman I've seen him with.
That's what I had to search it up because I was like, I swear they were married forever ago. They've been together since 2013. So they've just had one of those very long relationships where they don't get married till like later. Me personally, it's gonna need to be a little faster than that.
Let's speed it up. What's the delay?
Mhm.
What's the let me wait?
Yeah, why let me wait?
But I still think that it's crazy that because, like, I thought they were locked in.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like they were locked in. They seemed very happy together. So that's why
No.
when that came out, I was like, whoa.
I feel like for as long as I've known Chance the Rapper, he's been very public about his girl. Like, I have a girl that I love.
Yes.
That's why I was like, first of all, very shook that they've only been married for 5 years. 2, shook that like they are divorcing. I honestly feel like a lot of people have been getting divorced recently.
Everyone's
like-
been, like, splitting up.
I'm like, what's in the air?
What is in the air?
Like,
It's kind of scary.
it is a little scary. It's like, what? I'm like, they haven't released why they're divorcing. I'm sure they'll probably announce that it's like amicable, like we both
Right. That's
agreed.
always what it is with the celebrities, which I get it. It's really, like, none of our business,
Yeah.
honestly. But it's like you do put yourself out there. So it's like, obviously, we're
Mhm.
going to be curious. Like,
Mhm.
what happened? Did he do something? Did she do something?
Mhm.
Or was it really just like, oh, this just doesn't,
Right.
it's not working, which is
Mhm.
understandable as well.
Mhm.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was still really shocked by it because that was news I was not expecting at all.
Right. And they have 2 girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I think in the statement it was like, oh, obviously they're going to prioritize their kids and
Oh,
like
yeah.
their dynamic and how they're going to grow up from here on out. But I think there's just like this trend, or not this trend, but like this repeating occurrence in Hollywood of like men that appear to be like I'm a wife guy, like I love my girl down, like,
No, exactly.
and then they get divorced and
And
it's
then
like, what are we not seeing?
I think the only one that I will truly probably cry, scream, get on my knees, never believe in love again is if Tom and Zendaya.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Y'all won't, you will not hear from me for months, a year. I will not end up with anyone. Like, that would break me to pieces. And it's just like, I do feel bad for people that like, or celebrities specifically, where like, yeah, they put themselves out there because it is their job. But it's like, sometimes we don't need to know everything that's going on. Like, I gotta like remember that. I'm like, oh my God, like I wanna know what happened. But it's like, it's really none of my business. Like, they have kids. I get it.
And I feel like, for example, Tom and Zendaya, like, I love that, like, Tom will just pop out and be like, hey, just so y'all remember, I'm obsessed with my girlfriend. And then disappear.
Like little comments of like a red heart or like a little like heart eye emoji.
And it's like, rightfully so. He really won. He really won though. So it's like,
and that's what I appreciate about him is that he knows that he's won. And the thing is like, people will ask like Zendaya like in interviews like, oh, like why isn't Tom with you at this event? He's like, oh, he's probably at home like reading a book. Like, they don't always have to do something together. And to like go off of that, I want to talk about Taylor and Travis. Yes, they have been in the news a lot, but for some reason I'm just getting like a little annoyed, not just with them specifically, but just in like with celebrities in general that are in relationships. Is like, I see TMZ posting like Travis is at the gym in LA while Taylor's at home. Okay?
And what?
And why did we need to know this? Taylor went out to go to a dinner without her arm candy Travis. As she should. Have
like
a girls' night? Like,
she can't go?
She can't. They got to do everything that, like, I don't understand. Like, I think we have this, like, perception of, like, what celebrities are, and we expect them to, like, be with each other all the time. We need to see everyone together all the time. They're human. I'm not going to be with you 24/7. I think that's healthy. So it's just like annoying that I see like all these posts like, Taylor went out without Travis. Yeah.
She can do that. As a human with bodily autonomy, she can move however she chooses.
She can do whatever she wants. And same with Travis. He can go, he went to practice. Yeah, he's an athlete. He's a football player.
And you know what it is? I just think that, like, first of all, the media knows Taylor's name is going to get clicks. Whatever you want to say, you can put her name in it. People are going to read it because her Swifties, maybe arguably the strongest fan base on the planet. They not? Okay.
They are.
So it's like, you're going to put her name in it if you want some attention. And I think now the same kind of goes with Travis because, like...
Oh, you put those two names together?
Like, the way she's elevated him in the media space is crazy. So it's like, people are going to keep talking about them too. Also, I think that, like, just the relationship happening at the time it did and the Super Bowl thing, it's like they're not my, like, American couple, like, you know, like that kind of like figure. But I think they're the world's like cute, like, oh my God, all American couple that they got going on. And so I think the world is like obsessed. I think it's going to take a lot for them to be knocked off a pedestal, I think, and like people are gonna like die down and not speak of them as much. I think it's gonna take years.
No, it's gonna take a minute because her album is coming out like
in
the 12th.
Yeah, in like a week. 12th? Yeah.
So they're definitely gonna be back in the.
Let there be a song about him. Let there be a song about him. That's all we're gonna be here. Like, I purposely, not that I have anything against Taylor, but I purposely don't like TikToks that involve like her concerts and things because, like, I don't want my For You page to be flooded with Taylor content. I'm so sorry. So it's like, when that album drops, it's gonna be everywhere.
It's gonna be flooded.
Flooded.
It's gonna be flooded. All the edits. I'm an edit girl. I will save an edit. Like, I'm an edit girl. No, there's definitely gonna be edits. I'm excited to see what she does with this album though, because it's like, it's giving a little more sass.
I know. Was it Tortured Poets Society?
Yeah, something like that. It's the longest title. I'm sorry, Taylor. I don't know the title. I'll listen, but like, Tortured Poet something. It's definitely lengthy. It's a lengthy one. I don't really get why, but we'll see. We'll have to do a listen.
Yeah. Oh, a little listening party about.
I'm so down to do listening party. That's so bad. I want to do listening party so bad.
But it's I don't know. It's just interesting to see. Like, I definitely think we have an obsession with like just knowing what celebrities think about things or just what they're doing.
Like, I like celebrities, but I'm not the type of person that's like, oh my God, what is she doing right now? Is she sitting on the sofa watching TV? What TV show is she watching? What is she eating right now? What's in her fridge? Some people are like that, which I think get a life.
Mm-hmm.
But I there is a part of me where I like kind of snap into and be like, oh my God, like, what are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but then it's like, it's none of my business.
Right.
It's really none of my business. Because I think like if I was in their shoes, I wouldn't want to tell the world. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. Like, I'd want to just keep things to myself.
Yeah, I can't I feel like I've left that stage of just like being obsessed with celebrities. Like I don't think I'm like that anymore. However, when there's drama, I really be wanting
when
to
there's
know.
drama,
I'm like, what's going
I
on?
would eat it up. But I've been like really into like the sports. Like I've been like women's basketball.
Ooh.
I've been eating it up,
Yep, it's been
and
really
I'm so
good.
happy about it. Like it's not that I didn't like it or didn't watch. Like I just like really got into it, and maybe it's because I'm at USC that like I feel like I'm more involved in sports.
Yeah.
So I've been eating it.
No,
up.
I've never been in a position to have like school spirit exactly. Like, and so now that I have it, and I'm at a school with a team like the women's basketball team here at USC, it's just gives me the opportunity.
It's fun. Like
and
you
it
get
makes
more
it
excited.
fun.
You feel more involved.
Exactly. Any WNBA post I see on my TikTok, it's like. Exactly. So I'm like, that's what
I be staying like and stuff, like especially with like USC stuff. That sounds like so like for some USC students, but like I will eat it up. Especially like there's so much going on in sports right now. So many things are changing, and so it's very much. It's like it's kind of like drama, but like good drama, where it's like doesn't feel like it's mean or malicious. It's more like, ooh, like what's your opinion? Like what are your thoughts?
And I feel like somebody who's like constantly talked about is like Angel Reese. The media loves to discuss her.
Loves to, good and bad, but specifically bad.
Yeah, and I feel like we know where that's coming from. I feel like we know where that's rooted in.
We all know where it's coming from.
But
know.
you know, despite like what people are saying about her, she has still announced that she's in the WNBA draft in like the best way.
The best way possible. She ate that up so hard. I was swiping and she was all over my page. I was like,
No.
all the photos ate up.
Announced it in Vogue.
Oh,
In Vogue.
Eight.
No, the
best
fits,
decision. The fits. The fact that it was in Vogue, because personally, I don't really know. Don't fact me on this. I do not know if she was like the first person to do it in Vogue, but if she was, slay, serve, eight. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed. I'm so happy for her.
Like-
Because like she's gone through a lot, and so like seeing that and seeing like her just so like happy and with so much pride and joy and confidence after like what people have been saying about her, I really do think like that was like the smartest move on like for her team. Like for her team to do that was like
And I feel
point.
like it was just a beautiful way to like kind of like put a little bow on her career at like LSU too, because I just feel like even after LSU lost the game and she was crying, people were mad that she was crying. People felt like she didn't deserve to cry.
But then all these other players could cry and they didn't say anything.
Right, but when
Doesn't make
Angel
sense.
because she's a competitive player. Because when she's on the court, who can?
It's a
I was like-
competitive sport. Like what do you,
I thought like whatever talking mess on the court, I thought that was part of it. I feel like that's what athletes do. No,
exactly.
like when you're competitive and when you're competitive and when you're playing that sport and you're going as a team and maybe you're losing, you're gonna get a little angry.
Right. Get angry.
Get
Angry. She wanted to win.
You want to win.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a lot harder to win when you're like jolly. Sometimes you gotta get a little angry.
Jolly's crazy.
You gotta get a little angry. And so I feel like that's for whatever reason when it comes to Angel, like people just can't.
She can't win.
She can't win.
She can't win. But she did win with that photo.
She did win with that photo
She
shoot.
did win with Vogue.
I
though.
hope her career in the WNBA is a lot better and a lot more positive. I haven't like the way it turned for her. I don't know why I did that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like people are just gonna stay hating because they've already been hating.
Right. I feel like also, I mean, this year's draft, like it's bringing a lot more eyes to the WNBA. So I feel like whatever happens, the attention is going to be there. It's going to get picked up.
And
so,
and the one thing that I do really like obviously, championships are over,
Mm-hmm.
and it was good. Like I did genuinely like watch every single game, and so honestly, I think it's amazing that these girls have really like pushed for more women to watch in a way.
Did you see the 18.7 million views in the last game?
Crazy.
More than the men's.
More than the men's.
More than the men's.
So like, and seeing like these little girls look up to them, like I think it's like such a like it's a really good change in like sports, especially for women.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to give too much credit to Taylor Swift, but she was also like a big contributor for more women watching football as well. So I think it's like opening up more doors.
It is.
And I think I love seeing women support women. Like the way that these players talk about like people that they were like competing against, like I love to see it. They're like, oh, like she's an amazing player. I hope for one day to like play with her. Like everything seems like, because we're girls.
Yeah.
Girls. That's all I gotta say. That's what it was giving this whole season. And I'm really like, I don't know.
And I feel like
I feel good.
Yeah, and I feel
proud.
like I'm happy that in the way the industry is going as a whole, like I guess just like the sports industry in general, because it's like, for example, during the Super Bowl, the way companies that haven't done Super Bowl ads ever or in a really long time did it this year because they knew that so many women were going to be watching. So it's like, I think Dove did their first ad in like 10 years because they're like, oh, women are watching this time. Like, So I think it's kind of cool to like,
from that
perspective, it's like kind of seeing companies like, oh, now we got to focus on another demographic.
Yeah.
Like, now what is it going to look like?
Yeah.
You know? So it's like,
it's an exciting shift.
Exactly. I'm all for it. I love, I was not a sports watcher, period. But I feel like this year has really changed it up for me.
Me too.
So I'm excited to see what happens next. We love women's sports, and you know, March Madness just concluded, but we're gonna get into it a little bit more in the next segment. Yep. Macy and I have a lot more to say, so we're excited to hear them. Stay tuned, and they'll be in shortly.
Love ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Ooh.
What did I do today? I cried.
Oh yeah, Mariel cried.
Cried in the bathroom. Life of a college girly. No, literally it was
Life of a
It's okay, now we up.
Now we good. But that's the bounce back is what's important. You bounced, did you not?
I did bounce back a little bit. Just a tad. Just a tad.
Oh, because of the singing?
They're making fun of my singing.
Producer down. Fiend.
That's all he says, right?
Yes, pretty much. All right. Okay.
What'd she say? Are we not done?
I think it's a transition. welcome back to part 2, round 2, the best duo in the building. Jake Nizzle in the building. May Sizzle in the building.
Let me fix my chair, you know. Marielle's like a little...
Marielle's Oompa Loompa, 2 foot 2.
I'm struggling a little bit.
Now
I didn't say Oompa Loompa. That was her.
Now that the Oompa Loompas are out of the room. May Sizzle in the building. Jake
I don't
Nizzle in
support
the
that.
building.
I don't support that.
How was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was good. I slept. I watched Game of Thrones. I'm on season 7.
Okay.
I had a great weekend. I watched some basketball.
Yeah, some hoops.
Yeah.
It was a very hoopful weekend.
Oh, for sure.
Now it's over.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I've been having a grand time
Yeah.
watching all the games.
Now it's just NBA and XFL.
The NBA's not bad.
It's like an in-between period before the playoffs.
Where you're like, are y'all
Do
trying
I
to
really
win?
care to watch this?
And you know, the teams that are out are like, why am I still here?
The Rockets. You hate to see it, but I mean,
I don't hate to see it.
you really?
No, not at all. I don't like the Rockets.
No, that's fair. But I think
They were talking all that smack.
they
were
have
talking
a
all that
funny
smack
team. I
against
was
the
gonna say it.
Warriors.
I like it. I always say like that's what sports is about. Smack talk. It brings viewers.
I say talk smack if you could back it up.
For sure.
He was an idiot for saying that. He said,
Tarai, yeah, I like him though. He funny.
he said,
said,
Warriors.
And then he wore the shirt, not even
Literally.
playing on the bench.
Literally. How do you go that hard from the bench?
Just
You can't change the game at all.
to antagonize.
At all.
That's Draymond level
No,
antagonizing.
literally.
Just to sit
Literally.
there and wear the shirt.
Literally.
What are you doing?
And the fact that Draymond ate you up, and people were supporting Draymond, and he's been acting a fool.
and he's been the public ass,
No,
as
literally.
they say.
But did you see he had Clay on his podcast? And he's like, how do you feel when I get ejected?
No, what did he say?
He was like, Clay's like, we really need you. He's like, it's disappointing, incredibly. But Draymond was like, I need to hear this. He was like, you know, we have a chance to really go far. We haven't had that in the past.
You
He's
know
like, "We
what?
need you."
Because this been pissing me off. Like, Draymond, I think he's a great player. He's a great athlete. But, like, I feel like sometimes you're being selfish, like, not on purpose, but innately by your actions. Like, you
For
gotta
sure.
know, like, bro, you're a grown man. Like, chill.
No,
Because
literally.
you just see Steph out there frustrated and Clay, like, come on, man.
No, literally. And I'm like, my thing is, you pick the worst times. Clay
Worst
is not usually
times.
on. When Clay is on, then you want to act a fool?
Right? Did you see that video where Draymond flopped and Clay walked past him and he
Yes!
kept playing?
I said,
And they were all like, bro, get up. Like, you're tweaking.
yeah, I think he definitely needed a reality check. And I'm proud of Clay for being like, bruh, it's
I'm
disappointing.
surprised he brought him on his podcast. I for sure thought it would ruin the team tension.
No, I think my thing is that's good to say
Right?
that, because you know some people, no, it's
Like,
okay,
man, we gonna
man.
support
Like,
you through and
yeah,
through.
they're
You
tripping,
need
they're
a real
tripping.
man
Literally.
to be like, bro, you're
No, for
doing the
sure.
most.
I really wish it was Steph, because people are on him talking about how he's not a leader and stuff. And I said,
That's
who
weird
do
to
you
me.
think? I know I couldn't control
That's
Draymond Green.
weird. Also, you're a grown man.
Literally, why are you
30
saying you need to
plus year
control
old
it?
grown man? I hate that when they're like, oh, it's like they're questioning Steph's legacy because of it. How does one person's actions ruin his
Literally.
legacy?
Like, what are you talking about? You're an idiot. He literally has changed the game completely.
And you're saying legacy is affected by him
This is
not being
why-
able to shut up
Literally.
That's
literally.
sick.
This is why we watch people airball from half court all the time.
all the time.
Because of Steph. Don't say that affects his legacy.
And
It's
I'm-
affecting Draymond's
That's
legacy.
what I was gonna say. What are you talking about? Steph is affecting
Literally.
Draymond. They're like, bro, you're a villain now.
No,
You're past like, oh, we need a villain era a little bit. No, you're like doing too
you
much.
are the villain.
Like too much.
You need to get it together.
It's like annoying at that point. I was like, bro, you're just having a bad rep for black people.
I'm like, I don't even, like, Dylan Brooks isn't even doing all this.
I mean, Dylan Brooks be doing, but
The most, but not like,
he's like slow down, I guess.
but also I think it's like, you have great people on your team. You could really go far.
Yeah, really.
So,
But you
let's
see
not
where they
ruin the
are,
chance.
10th seed.
Yeah.
Did you see the post? They were like
Let's be-
celebrating 10th seed.
Let's be real. The Warriors could make a run. If everybody's on and they do what they need to do, they could make a
But
run.
this is shocking me. Like, this is like USC last year, I would say. Like, you have the parts. Maybe even this year for wide
They
receivers.
had all the parts.
You have the parts. But, yeah, we went 7-5 this year for USC. And Warriors,
insane.
what the hell? 10 seed?
but
And
I-
that's your, look at your roster.
Yeah.
I don't know what's missing. I don't watch Warriors hoops. I can't lie.
I don't know what's missing. I just think he's been having a rough season. Like,
Yeah.
it's on, off, on,
Clay is our
off.
Dorian singer.
No.
Dorian, what
Literally.
happened? What happened? I really, wait, get up.
Yo,
I
literally.
can't. Like, that made me sick. They were like, Dorian Singer, this, that, and the third. I said, if you're going to push Taj to wide receiver 3, at least have a number 1.
Literally.
Who was number 1? Brendan eventually, then, well, Todd, I would say, and then Brendan. Maybe they both shared it.
I think it was Brendan towards the end of the season.
For sure.
Number 1.
I was like, you're telling me you pushed Taj back for Dorian?
I know he was laughing.
Got it.
I would have said.
Got
Look
it.
at y'all now.
He didn't prove enough last year.
They do that though. They get this new little special piece, and they're like, this is our guy. This is our guy.
Much of a season in Arizona.
Literally, it's like it doesn't matter what you did last year. If they get someone, they're like, this could be
Give
our
him a
guy.
pin.
They say this is number 1. This is number
like
1.
this can't be. I mean, I think it's interesting to see because like for Christian, they chose Sierra over him. So I was like, oh, so you choose
And
your
I
previous
want to
starter.
know the reason why. There is nothing I've ever seen in a game that has said Sierra needs to be on that field
At all. Starting.
over anybody. Honestly,
Starting.
I would
I
literally
was
say,
perplexed.
volunteers from the crowd. Volunteers from the crowd.
Do we have any walk-ons that want to try?
He was just. I don't think he was meant to either play that position or.
Yeah, I think somebody said like he wasn't meant to be that position, or it's just he didn't beef up enough. I don't know.
And it shows.
And wrapping up, even Shiloh,
Yeah.
like Sanders, he needs to practice wrapping up
No.
too. So
I'm like, yeah, you
it doesn't matter who you are, what your name is. Fundamentals.
Literally, you're gonna get to the league and be sad.
I mean, speaking of fundamentals, Bear.
Oh
Jesus!
my god, bro! I don't know what is going on with the transfer portal.
Yeah,
this
Bear
season.
Alexander, our best defensive lineman.
Yes.
Cause Solomon left, our best.
Yeah.
He's hitting the portal as of an hour ago.
There's nothing that would have made me guess this.
At all.
Nothing. He
At all.
starts.
Over Keon, who came from Arizona.
Yes.
Years of experience. Keon
Yeah.
was a grad student.
Literally, the
and
more
Bear was a
experience-
sophomore and
Yeah.
started over him.
And then I'm like, no offense, where are you going? This man, y'all know I love Georgia. He came from Georgia, has a natty, came here, you're thinking you're having a leadership
And
position, you're showing us how to get there.
Yes.
And he played so good.
he deserved his start.
Yes, and he was
sure.
definitely going to start this. I don't know anybody they've recruited that
At
was
all.
better than him.
At
So I'm like,
all.
what
And
are
for
you
his
doing?
size, like he's huge and he's
Yes.
fast for
Yes.
his size. He's not one of them slow,
Yeah.
fat guys. No, like he's big and
He's
fast.
big.
He's getting to
The
the
quarterback
QB.
pressures.
I'm saying
He was eating.
him and Solomon were a duo, and Jamil too. They would come in
Yes.
and switch. Like I don't.
And
get
you
it.
still have Jamil, and you were going to have Bear. I don't
and Romelo coming in. I'm pretty sure he would start this season. Like
know. I don't
this is what I
understand.
think. I think it's either one, the new coach, because you know when a new coach brings new positions, new all that, new rules, or two, locker room drama. But I haven't heard anything that's enough for him to leave.
See, the first one, the new coach, no offense, if your head coach was Kirby Smart, everybody that has gone from Georgia to the league says that Georgia practices were way worse.
Yeah,
Then-
but he's like the head coach.
But
Like who's like the
still-
defensive
But
coach?
still, everybody, even defensive player, have said Georgia practice. It doesn't matter. Georgia practice is worse than what they've
I
experienced.
don't
in
mean
the
worse.
NFL.
I just mean like, what if the coach don't like him? Like like Tackett left because him and Alex Grinch were tight, and then he wanted to follow him. So what if he's like,
If the coach
Bear's
does not
oh,
like
I'm not
him,
really feeling it.
If the coach does not like him, the coach needs to leave. This is one of your best players. I don't get it.
Honestly,
I don't.
honestly,
I
and
don't
I'm even
get it.
shocked that we got a UCLA coach when we're going to the Big Ten.
Yeah,
I think we needed
that was a
someone
dumb
with more
move, in my
experience.
opinion. Literally.
in that competition field. I'm
Why
not
wouldn't
saying he has lack of experience, but not a Pac-12 guy.
It's both of our first years in the Big Ten. Why would we say, let's take a step back?
Even if he's
and
good,
It
Even
doesn't
if
matter.
He's good.
Get someone who has been there and
Thank
knows
you.
how to win.
A
Like
previous SEC coach, a Big Ten, like
something.
with some dogs.
This is what I think. USC sports, they literally, I don't know if they just take the first person who's like, oh, I'll do it. Because my thing is, even with our basketball coach, I saw them say,
Yeah.
oh, he came here. Literally the day later, this is our coach. I said, did nobody else want to? Did we
Yeah.
say this is our best option? We don't want to hear from
they
anybody else?
always make that process private though. Sometimes
is-
reports will get out like this person interviewed this person.
That's what I
interviewed.
want to know, because this to me was just like so quick. Like maybe they had their eyes on him. That's fair.
Yeah.
But my thing is like we
Maybe
don't
they
want to
did.
weigh our options.
I know Andy was planning to leave like before the end
Yeah,
of the season.
that's fair.
So I think maybe they started looking like before. But I am shocked that it was Arkansas. I can't lie.
I mean, I
was like, wait a minute, this is.
I'm not saying I have a lot of hope in that. I'm just saying
is,
it's like We could do something.
But I hope he recruits like
He
crazy.
has to. There's no way he's not gonna be
Like
successful
right
if he
now,
doesn't.
like Lincoln last year, we would be saying Lincoln's on a world tour. He
No,
needs to
literally.
hop in the jet,
With Lincoln,
world tour.
he don't even gotta go on a world tour. Go to East LA. Look at the basketball courts.
Go to somebody's hood and get some brothers.
Literally.
This is why I say, like, even for Gonzaga, like, you can have some good shooters, but you need a brother. Like,
Yes.
it's different when you have a brother on the
Go
team.
get the people that have not had anything, who want to work hard. Don't
They
get these
got the
people who are coming
drive,
in
the
expecting like,
passion.
oh, I know I'm going to USC. I'm going to get
Exactly.
NIL. Go get the grateful ones.
Thank you.
Please.
The
who
people
wanna
that
work
need
hard.
it.
Literally.
They-
who
'cause-
have no choice.
Right?
Those are the people we're missing from the team. Everybody else is just here for money. They want to see how much they can get. And it's ruining everything. Like, people know they can transfer, go somewhere else, and then just get everything. And that's what's annoying.
That's why I'm, like, confused about Bear. Like, I mean, the same thing as Kobe. Like, you know you're going to start. You might be
Yeah.
a captain. You know you're a great player, so why are you leaving?
With Kobe, I don't think it's money. I think you would get
For
more
sure
money
not
from
money.
USC than UCLA.
I agree, yeah.
I think it's just I want to win. It's my senior year, and they probably have a better team to do
Yeah,
that.
you know the coach.
Yeah.
You know some of the recruits that are coming in. So I understand.
And you don't have to go far, so it's
Yeah.
convenient. Bear, I'm like, where do you think you're gonna go?
I'm so
You've gone from
shocked.
SEC. You've gone from the top.
The top. You won.
You came here.
Did amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Where do you want to go now?
I mean, I would say he could go anywhere. Like, he
Yeah,
could
yeah,
go
but-
with his talent, but why?
yeah.
Why do you want to leave?
And my thing is, people are talking about you now. So I'm like, if you were to go anywhere, I think it would. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
I'm so disheartened because at least I was excited for our defense.
No, literally. The defense has worked so hard and just
I
keep
was
losing
excited
pieces
for
like
our
this.
defense.
I need to know the teeth. Someone needs to tell me what happened.
We need to get one of the players on this podcast
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it work for y'all.
We're gonna make it happen.
For y'all, because
we're gonna make it happen.
this is sick. This is
There's so
making me
much going
sick.
on and the season hasn't even started.
Like, who's next? Oh,
No.
eat my words.
Because if I see
Rebuke.
something that's like, what? Jamil leaves, the defense is back at square one.
We would have Romello, Rajon.
Romelo's staying.
Yeah. Oh, no. Romelo's not.
We would have
staying.
who?
Rajon.
And that's and I and that's all.
And Jalen. Oh.
So basically, we're back at square one.
No, that's
Um,
fair. We wouldn't have much
At
So,
all.
Rajon
So,
was great though, but he needed Shane.
I hope someone knocks some sense into Bear and says, "What are you doing?
back here.
Like, you're in a pen. You're definitely getting
You got your
crazy
dog.
money. Literally.
Well, if you don't stay in LA,
literally.
what are you leaving
Your
for?
dog is living in a pet house. He don't want to leave.
where are you gonna go?
Literally. You're good.
The
you're
Utah
leaving?
with Dorian, in the country somewhere.
Literally. Unless he goes back to SEC,
That would be smart.
then
If you
I would
wanna win.
understand.
If you
Yeah.
wanna win, okay.
But if he goes somewhere else, like within the Big
Don't
Ten or
piss me
something,
off, Bear.
you're literally like,
Speaking of piss me off, Caitlin Clark, and get my good eye when I say this. You piss me off. Piss me off. There's so much that happened. I can't lie. There's so much that happened. I always want to say USC. South Carolina won
Yeah.
the national championship.
yeah,
As they should, as they deserve.
undefeated.
Undefeated season. Last year they went undefeated, except their final game in Final Four, they lost to Iowa, which, okay.
Yeah.
But they still went undefeated.
Mhm.
Totally trampled by Caitlin Clark and her legacy, whatever. From the media, I'll say. And Dawn Staley this year started the team from scratch.
Literally
no starters.
Lost all her starters.
No starters. And they won. As they deserved. I would say,
Literally.
in my opinion. They didn't get as much media coverage as they deserved. Literally, when they
I
won,
agree.
they were like the CNN, which is a huge news source, like a big, like well-known. They posted an article where like, oh, Iowa's lost on Caitlin Clark's like amazing season, like trampled by a loss in the national championship.
This isn't about her.
And the photo was her. The photo was her.
See,
And
that
then they
makes
changed
no
it.
sense.
Then they changed the headline. Like,
You already did it.
it's like, what are we doing?
It's like we can't escape her, and that's why I had a problem when Dawn Staley mentioned Caitlin Clark in her. It's like
for what
there's-
she's done for basketball.
No offense, you can say that. You can make the statement like, "Thank you to Caitlin Clark. It is her last
Right.
game." You could have done that in the post game
For
interview.
sure. And
When your team is up there and you're
Yeah.
celebrating and you haven't gotten this media coverage and this your time, your team has been working so hard, and you get up here and you're like, "I'm so grateful," and also to Caitlin Clark. I just felt like it wasn't the time. And I'm not trying to be a hater.
I
I'm not
agree.
trying-
You know, you're not a hater.
It wasn't the time. I was like, why did you?
Let me say this. Caitlin Clark, I will respectfully say she came in the media last season when there was attention. It was like her versus LSU. And they did the ring thing and they did that. People love competition. People love beef. That's why she got in the public eye, and then people started watching women's hoops more.
Yes.
Because of Angel Reese, because of her, Caitlin Clark, together, both of them. And Angel Reese had that thing where she had her shoe in her hand and she talked smack. It was like both of them brought eyes to the game. But then they focused on Caitlin Clark and her like anger and her aggression and her scoring, and they champion her.
Yeah.
And Angel Reese is, oh, she's aggressive, she's this, she's that. Just say it's just racism that you haven't like realized.
No, literally. And you reposted a TikTok that was showing Caitlin Clark like pushing and being and begging for fouls. And
I do
was like,
not care. I will say this about any male hooper too.
Yeah.
She's a flopper, bro.
For sure.
Crybaby flopper.
Yes.
And I'll say it about any hooper, male, I don't care. There's LeBron be crybaby flopping too.
Yeah.
He be like, come on,
Boogie.
rap. Be like, Boogie Ellis. He be going in, this is his signature move. He go in the middle. He go like this.
pretend to lay it up.
Even
Don't even
Juju.
finish.
Juju hitting that fadeaway.
Yeah.
I said, girl, what are we doing?
Stop trying to draw the foul.
Stop. What are we doing?
Please.
What are we doing?
Please.
The hero ball going in for the lay, then you throw yourself to the side. I will call out any hooper. Caitlin Clark, you doing that consistently.
Literally. And
The
I'm like,
whole
the fact that there's a
season.
compilation and nobody was talking
And
about
she be
it.
so like angry, like,
No,
oh
literally.
my God.
The way she was she just pushed some girl for like no
It be pissing
reason.
me
I was like,
off watching that.
and I'm like, why have I never seen this? Like nobody talks about it, but every TikTok I see of Angel Reese is something negative.
Thank
like,
you.
Something about her being too aggressive. But I'm like, Caitlin Clark is the same way. And I'm not saying you can't be aggressive, but show them
Keep
in
the
the
same
same
energy.
light. Literally.
Same energy.
And I wouldn't have a problem, but don't say one aggression is worse than the other
Thank
when they're
you.
doing the same thing. And really,
Thank you.
sometimes Caitlin Clark is doing
does the
too
most.
much and nobody talks about it.
And people will say, well, Caitlin Clark's a scorer. That's why people like her more. Well, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
she's a scorer, but that's not Angel's position.
Yeah.
They're not the same position. So don't expect Angel to be a scorer. Like,
I agree. She might be more entertaining because everybody loves to watch Steph Curry play. She shoots
So,
these
like,
wild
they love-
shots, so that's
exactly
fair.
right.
So, but I'm like, don't say
And like,
be
credit where it's due. She's a great
yes,
hooper.
she is. She's
but when you
amazing.
put other people down in
Yes.
comparison, then that's where I have a problem.
Exactly. They should both just exist on their own
Thank
and say
you.
they're both two great players.
Thank you.
Don't get to comparing them. You really can't. And my thing is, when you start talking about the aggression, keep the same energy.
Thank you.
That's it. That's all we need to say.
Thank you.
It's just wild that these things go ignored when it's Caitlin Clark.
And
it's so blatant. Like, I
Right?
don't get it. I don't get it how
Thank
they don't
you.
talk about it, and they just pick her and just put her in this light. And I'm like, she's a great player, but please.
And then I saw this thing like she's gonna go to the WNBA, change the game. First of all, everybody has a growth period, so it's just naturally not gonna happen. Also, keep the same energy as y'all do for other people. Like she has no rings,
Yeah.
no rings.
No rings.
Angel Reese, ring.
Yeah.
I have nothing more to say to that.
No.
Ring.
Even in that game, did you see how everybody's talking about how it was a get back game?
Raven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Raven, you played that defense. That defense was
hyped.
phenomenal.
I was so hyped.
Phenomenal.
You waved her off last
Yes.
year. She didn't forget.
Ooh, you were wrong
like,
for that.
I just love getting my get back on
No,
my own
literally.
terms.
No,
Because
literally.
honestly, I can't lie. Like, sometimes I'll be, But you gotta know, like, you can't be beating everybody. You can't be
This
aggressive.
was the way to do it. To come
She
back
said
this
she was
whole
hitting like
season.
200 threes in over the summer, like a day. She would be practicing her 200 threes a day. She was, what is it? Working
Yeah.
silence to
No,
get
literally.
her get back.
No, literally.
I was so
the defense
hyped.
she played was amazing, and this is why
Fantastic.
that's why LSU lost. They did not have anybody who could play defense.
Yeah.
On Caitlin
Haley.
Clark. Literally.
Haley.
She was
By
struggling.
anybody, we mean Haley.
She was sick, but
I
also,
don't care.
I feel like their coach did not prepare them for that. You've played her before. Somebody should have been. You should have
Locked up, double
literally,
teaming something.
You should have said, focus on guarding her. Do not let her lead. I don't know how they practice, but they were not ready for her.
Piss me off.
And my thing is, last year when you played her, they played LSU played amazing defense on Caitlin Clark. She still had 30.
Mm.
So you have to know she's going to shoot.
She's their main
She's
scorer.
going to shoot.
She is their main
You
scorer.
have to keep her as low as you can.
Thank you.
Don't get frustrated. Oh, she got another one. Stay on her.
Right?
Because then you
It's
just
like
keep
Haley
letting her
gave
go.
up. I was watching the game
literally,
like,
she
this
said,
can't be real.
I said, girl,
This
stay
can't be
on her,
real.
please. I know you're tired.
I'm
I know
hitting
you're
the
running
portal
around.
too, Stink.
No, literally.
I get it.
But even when they played this, Raven kept her at 30. That's
whole
a
game.
lot of
Whole
points
game.
anyways. But to keep her at 30, that was the key right
She
there.
had that dog in there.
No,
I can't
literally.
lie.
She said, okay, you may have got me, but not anymore. Watch.
Right?
We're about to
And you
eat
can
this
tell,
up.
like, it's the same with Juju. Like, when you take someone off their game,
Yeah.
they be in their head. Like, when Juju's off her game,
Yeah.
we're like, bro, sub her out. Cause
you got to give them a chance to, like,
and that's why you need another score. Like,
Yeah.
when Juju, we were watching the game, like, McKenzie stepped up. And that's what I love about USC. But Iowa, they don't have, like, a backup number
they
two.
have that one girl. She's
Yeah, with the Puffs. Or she didn't have it that game. But
No, it's a different girl. There's one girl. She's not a bad shooter. She's usually right up there
yeah,
with Caitlin.
maybe she's like Drew.
Yeah.
Like her back this game. But normally she's good.
Yeah, but I mean, nobody's scoring the same amount of points, like 30 points.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
definitely under 20 or
Yeah,
20 or
which
so.
I'm like, hey, USC did their thing. South Carolina, my fault.
Yeah.
They did their
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
they
know
ate
why,
up.
it's
They
just easier
deserve
to
that
say USC.
so bad. I'm so
Right?
happy for Dawn Staley. I'm so happy for them.
Undefeated.
They
The
ate
first
that right
black
up.
coach to win 3 national championships.
And she's like the highest paid women's coach.
as she should.
She deserves that.
everything.
She deserves
like,
that.
I'm just so happy for her. I'm so happy for black women. I'm happy for their team. Like
Literally. I'm rooting for everyone black.
every single time.
Everyone black.
Every single time. Every single time.
They ate up. They deserve that. I was
Every
so happy.
single time.
The men's game, I didn't really.
I mean, UConn won again. Congrats.
I didn't want to see UConn versus
At
Purdue.
all.
I knew it was gonna be that. I didn't want to see it.
I wanted to see NC State.
Yeah,
Well, out of the 4.
yeah. I didn't really care who won.
Yeah.
Purdue. I said UConn. They got shooters, so
They do.
So
And
I
Purdue,
said if
like
they shoot well,
Iowa, they rely on one person.
literally,
Zach
which
Edey.
is insane. He had more points than the whole team.
and
He
you can't rely
rested
on one person.
33 seconds.
Literally.
That is insane. You're a
That's-
slave.
And the thing is, people will say like he's not gonna do it on the NBA. I'm very shocked to see this because they're saying like he's not gonna last. He don't play good defense. He's just big and can score, but not good defense.
There's nobody else in the NBA right now who's just big and can score.
That's what I be saying.
Like
That's what I be
they
saying.
don't. They barely play defense in the NBA. Why are you saying that? That is so That is so stupid. Because even NBA players are saying it is so much easier to score in the NBA than college because we don't really play defense like that. He will do just fine.
There's so many players that came from. This is a personal vendetta of mine from Gonzaga that deserve to be in the NBA. People say they don't play good defense, so they didn't get a chance. That's your defining factor, James Harden. That's all I have to say. A man that knows no defense, that doesn't even have a crumb sense of defense. But you're telling me Drew is in the NBA right now. Piss me off. Piss me off.
No, that's fair. I think he'll do just fine. He's humongous.
I don't know.
I think they're gonna give him a chance.
For sure.
I
He's
don't-
big.
Yeah.
And right now, bigs are in the league.
I mean, I can't say how he'll do. I don't really know. I didn't watch him enough. But
Yeah, fair.
I mean, all I can say is nobody could guard him. He was even when they would miss the shot, he was tipping it right in. I said, I don't know what y'all are gonna do.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even watch the game. I watched the highlights, but I was
That's fair.
pissed off.
It was neck and neck for a minute, and then they just got ahead.
I said, am I
UConn was
really
just shooting
watching
on them? They started.
UConn?
There was one boy who was shooting well for Purdue and kept them neck and neck. Then UConn started guarding the perimeter. They could not shoot any threes, and it was all up to Zach.
UConn's a team.
UConn is a team.
That's fair. That's fair.
Did you see they're trying to go for their three-peat?
I mean, they should. Like,
Someone
naturally.
please.
When you have a winning culture like that,
Someone please.
and you know who will it be?
It will not be the Zags. Don't let her fool you. I would love to be just as delusional as you. Like, that's insane.
Gonzaga's gonna win next year for sure. If we get some brothers, that's all I'm saying. We need some brothers that got that dog in them. We can't let the white boys run the team no more. You see what happens every single year.
Yeah.
The year we had brothers, we went to the national championship. That's all I'm gonna say. The proof is in the pudding. So that's all I have to say. That's all I have
we'll
to
see.
say.
I don't think so.
Anyways, let's move on before we have to go. The last and I would say least important thing, because I don't really care. J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake. Honestly, it was like this unspoken beef that I think the fans and the media blew up, and then I think that's why it's here now. I think last week, or no, 2 weeks ago, we talked about this, about what Kendrick said to Drake, and we're like, Drake, pipe down, because he's like, nobody in the world's better than me. J. Cole recently dropped an album or mixtape, and then he's like deleting, what is it called? Deleting this soon?
He was gonna
we'll
delete
later. That's the name of it.
Yeah.
I think deleting soon, something like
we'll
that.
delete later or something.
And
Maybe
then-
delete something. It doesn't matter.
And then there's like one song on it that's like a response
7-minute
to
drill.
Kendrick's verse in Future and Metro Boomin's song, whatever. And then Dreamville Festival or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Parade? No, I can't think of words right now. I'm not thinking in English.
Continue.
He gave a little speech, and I know Macy feels strongly about this, so I'll pass her the mic.
Alrighty. If you listened to Kendrick's diss and J. Cole's diss, J. Cole won that diss. If we're just looking at what he put out, this is why. If you're listening to the Kendrick song, number one, he got on there with Future. Future was literally there was no reason for him to be on that. I think if you're gonna diss somebody, you need to either do it alone or do it with somebody who's gonna bring the same energy. And it was just weird. Nobody's listening to Future in that song. You're waiting to get to Kendrick. Now Kendrick, both songs ate up. Kendrick's song and then J. Cole's song ate up, I will admit.
I feel like J. Cole had some weak lines in there. You saw the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. I don't know a L because I never took one. That was corny.
And that makes up for the whole first half of Future's part, okay?
Nah, Future really did
Future
sell.
was corny that whole
He
first half.
sold.
And then that minute of Kendrick
carried.
It
Carried.
ate. But I don't want to listen to that whole part of Future. Anyways, J. Cole ate that song up. Some of my favorite lines. He said, if he wasn't dissing, we wouldn't be discussing him. That is true. That is true. Nobody is discussing Kendrick Lamar in the first.
But no one was discussing J. Cole before.
Well, I'm saying, this beef is stupid because
It's
J. Cole was
random.
paying homage to him. He was saying we're the big three. If you don't think you're the best, that's insane.
Yeah, you should be confident.
So I don't think it was ever really a diss, but Kendrick coming and making it a diss, I think that J. Cole, he's not one to respond. He's very stay in my own lane. The beef is never that serious. He's very peaceful. He's these are my brothers,
Hold
blah,
up.
blah, blah. So my thing is, it was pretty clear that he didn't want to respond. In it, he says he doesn't want to have to smoke him. He says that he's a little hesitant to put it out. He's saying people are wanting a toxic reply. And my thing is, when he apologized, everyone was saying oh, he lost because he apologized. I don't think everyone's looking at why he apologized. I think he's apologizing because that's not him to respond to beef. If you've ever been in a moment where you've said something just out of spite and out of anger, and you've been like, bro, I shouldn't have even responded to that. That's how I think it was. If you think for a minute that J. Cole cannot compete with Kendrick and it wasn't right here neck and neck, then you're an idiot. And realistically, if you sit here, I think he won because he did this whole 7-minute drill on his own. He really came for every single part of Kendrick. My thing is, he said this was just a warning. So my thing is saying, oh, this isn't as hard. This isn't as hard. You have to understand, J. Cole's not that person.
I think he lost because, within 2 days, 48 hours, he doubled down. No, that's the opposite. He retracted what he said. I think if you're going to respond as strong as he did, let it be. Leave it. Let your diss speak for itself or whatever. Your clapback speak for itself. But by him saying nah, that's not me. It's bro, it just comes off as weak, especially when rap is art. And it's this is representing you and what you're saying. I say to double back and be oh no, I'm taking it back. Da, da, da. It's bro, come on.
I think it's crazy because
say what you said and stand on it.
But the rap game has always been saying people are always trying to post sides, and everybody has always said
and
they
that's
need
what brings attention to it.
But they've been saying they need to just come together. And J. Cole, if you know J. Cole, he's always been saying we need to be a family, we need to come together. So he doesn't like to get in this.
But he
beef.
dropped it though.
But I think the only reason he dropped it is he says in the beginning people are saying, oh, you need to respond, you need to respond. He's saying people are saying, oh, let me get on with you, let me respond with you. And my
I want to know who those rappers were, cause y'all messy.
Honestly, I was
what
low-key,
you out here being messy for?
No, in the first few lines, he's saying, do you want me to help him smoke him? And I was like, I know this isn't Drake, because he started saying, he said he's done so much in the streets that he has pension. I said, this cannot be Drizzy. Do you all really believe Drake is in the streets like that?
Of Toronto or
bruh.
LA?
I said,
Neither.
who's trying to get on here and start beef with Kendrick? because there's very few people that can compete. But
Thank
I
you.
don't think
And Drake's not one.
if you're thinking like, oh, he lost the beef because he apologized. One, everybody always says when you apologize, sometimes you just have to be the bigger person. And I think before letting it get that far, I have respect for him.
I saw this meme. It was like Ari Lennox. She was like, "Oh, you were the bigger man today." It was like when your girl calls you the bigger man.
Right.
You took an L.
I think if you think, oh, he lost because he apologized, that's fair. People think what they're going to think if he doubles back. I think he was the bigger person in the situation. He said he didn't want to let it get this far. I think if they would have let it continue, it would have gotten even more messy and just like.
Really? I feel like it would have been hype. Like, I don't think they're actually beefing. I think, like, this is like PR.
I was saying maybe they'll do another
Right?
little
And I was
combo
hoping
album.
this was like, then Kendrick will drop something, then J. Cole, and so then they'll get other rappers in on it, like good rappers, so we'll have good music, like a little summer beef song.
Yeah, I just think when you realize that your actions were out of character, sometimes that weighs on you more heavy, and you're like,
but I feel like he didn't say nothing that was too crazy.
I didn't think it
in
was
the
crazy,
song.
but all I'm thinking is, you know yourself. And if I say, like I've been in arguments where I just say something, I'm like, bruh, why did I even say that? Like,
fair.
And I'm like, it
also
may
like
not
to
have been
beef
that
with
bad.
Kendrick, one of the greats. It's
Yeah,
like,
and
nah.
he's like, bruh, we're both good, and I think he was trying to get that across. Initially, when he said like big three, and he's like, that's what I want to stand on, and that's what I want to say. So I understand if he was saying it was weighing heavy on him and he wanted to apologize. I don't think that makes him seem weak. I think that makes him seem like the bigger person to go ahead and address it and double back, because to apologize, bro, that takes a strong person. He could have just said, I don't care at all.
But in the initial song, I don't even think Kendrick like said anything to J. Cole besides a big three. It's just Big Me. Most of his disses were at Drake. Like, he was calling him, like, wimp, whiny, like, all that stuff. I don't think he really...
Do you think when he said Prince outlived Mike Jack, that was to Drake?
I don't know. I think obviously Prince figuratively outlived Mike Jack, and literally, physically, all of the realms outlived Michael Jackson. But does he mean, like, streaming money?
So maybe, this is what I'm thinking. Maybe Kendrick was like, that wasn't even for you. That was for Drake. And he said...
I mean, I listened to it again. I was like, this was all for Drake. Like, except that one verse, which was addressing J. Cole's.
So maybe he was like, I ate him up too much. This is really for Drake to handle. Let me just take this back. I don't think he's going to delete it for real.
Yeah.
It's already out
It's
there.
weird to say you're going to delete it.
He had some great bars, especially when he was talking about the albums and stuff, and how To Pimp a Butterfly. I know everybody was mad that it was boring. It put people to sleep.
Give your opinion, look in the camera.
Yeah.
Post this clip.
I thought To Pimp a Butterfly, I never listened to it. Like, it's never a song like I'm like, ooh, let me listen to this.
No, the album. He said, I think he meant the whole album.
Yeah, To Pimp a Butterfly, the whole album.
Yes.
I do think it's boring. I think it's slave music. I actually put it on today. I needed to study, and I can't have things too distracting. I put it on. I powered through. I didn't even say, ooh, let me listen to that song.
I feel
It was
like
just
the
background noise.
message of what he's saying.
It's a great message. I agree. But it's not something I'm gonna be like, ooh, let me listen to. It's something I'll put on if I'm cleaning.
That's fair, and I think like music can be art in that sense. Like, it doesn't have to always be like,
for sure. But I
hate they ass so much we dig him up and tell him die again. Like,
I just think
that
Kendrick, his first album was good. He said it was a classic. I agree with that. But I agree with everything he said about the albums. No offense. I just think
that's fair.
It's
That's
also
your opinion.
it's also music is not for everybody. So
yeah,
Well,
that was us. The best, the duo, the number 2 Skeeter. We'll see you guys next week, as always. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you.